Okay, so in the last class, we were discussing about the differential amplifiers. So in the differential amplifier, so how we can be able to use it as a summing amplifier and all we have seen. So basically, differential amplifier is made up of so differential amplifier is made up of a combination of both inverting amplifier as well as non-inverting amplifier. So when one of the input, so you can see the structure of a subtractor or a differential amplifier circuit. So in this circuit, so we can see um, the two voltage source has been connected for the 741 op amp. In the in the given 741 op amp, if the voltage VA source is connected to ground, so then the circuit is going to function like a non-inverting amplifier. And if the voltage source B is connected to ground, so the circuit is going to work as a inverting amplifier. So this is going to have a gain of minus RF by R1, same as that of inverting amplifier gain. So minus RF by R1, but the output will be having the subtraction. So that is, it is going to work like a subtraction operation. Then that is, it is going to take the difference between the two voltage source which you have connected. So whatever the source VA as well as VB is there, so the difference the two voltage source will be static. And we also seen that this is a summing act like a adder. So for when you whatever the signals you are going to add across the inverting and the non-inverting terminal, so the output voltage will be sum of the voltage which has been connected across this one. So only thing is that whatever the voltage which have been connected to the inverting terminal, so VA and VB. So because the terminal, so the output will be having a negative sign, and non-inverting terminal positive voltage VC plus VD. Differential amplifier can be used as a I1 amplifier. Next topic is we are going to discuss about compare in this type of circuits wherein which so you can till now we have seen about the inverting amplifier, that is one amplifier in the that means when you are employed the negative feedback configuration, so that will be particularly used for be operated as
Sorry, your voice is not audible.
voice ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ
ಹ್ಞೂ ಸರ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಾಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ.
Now is it continuous or what? It is breaking still.
No sir, no, it's not. It's continuous.
So now in this particular chapter we are going to see some of the applications which are relevant to the how can be employed as a positive feedback. So in the previous class and also we have seen summing, scaling as well as averaging amplifier and all is considered. So where we have employed the operation amplifier in the negative feedback configuration. So now we are going to see how the operation amplifier can be acting as with for some of the applications with respect to positive feedback application. So positive feedback as well as open loop amplifier configuration. So both will consider as a positive feedback. So that means if you not employ any output to the positive, there is a non-inverting terminal. So the positive feedback, or if you don't employ any output to the input, so that means it will be acting like an open loop amplifier. So if an output, if an operation amplifier is acting like an open loop also, it will be considered as a positive feedback only. That means so both the output cases it will be useful for switching application. So now onwards we are going to see some of the switching application relevant applications we are going to see with respect to operational amplifier. So some of the switching applications as well as some of the filter circuits, so as well as some of the oscillator circuits, which are in all wherein which we are going to have a specific that is the output will be either in a positive saturation or negative saturation. So that is the
Sunil?
main thing that is. Sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir.
Good morning. Which mod?
Module 4, sir.
Module
4.
CO number?
CO4, sir.
Knowledge level?
Knowledge level K3, sir.
K3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, please continue.
K3. Sorry, sir. Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to study in this some of the applications relevant to the positive feedback we are going to consider. So the amplifier, how the operation. Sir.
ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರಗೆ.
So the applications relevant to the positive feedback, that is filter circuits applications, oscillator circuit applications. So all this operation amplifier, when it is connected. So in this the particular application, you have to think. So till now the output was linearly related to the PDF. Not visible. Okay, whether it is visible now. Okay, in this particular application, so we are going to consider. Hey, mute yourself. Okay. So when this particular application, we are going to consider how the positive feedback. So on employing the positive feedback, how the output is going to relevant with respect to the input, because we have already know that the fact that when you employ a positive feedback, so that means whatever the type of waveforms you can give, that means irrespective of the input type of waveform, that is rectangular waveform you can give, or a square waveform you can give, or triangular or ramp, or any type of sinusoidal waveform. So any type of input waveform you can give at the input side. So the output will be with respect to square wave you will be getting. So square wave which you will be getting, because the op amp will be operating with respect to only two output. You will be either the positive saturation output or the negative saturation output. Because of that reason, so the op amp will be either in two extreme end, so either in positive saturation or in negative saturation. So because of that, so you will be getting only the positive, that is you will be getting only the square waveform output. So that is what it is going to have. And in this specific application, so whenever the op amp is any type of feedback, so that is called as a open loop configuration. So in that open loop configuration, so the operational amplifier is going to have a differential amplifier stage as the input. So it is going to compare the two input terminals. So two input terminals, and non-inverting or non-inverting is greater than the inverting input. So the op amp will be operating like a comparator. So correspondingly, the output will get saturated in that corresponding saturation. Suppose inverting input is greater than non-inverting input, means so it is going to get saturated in negative direction. Suppose non-inverting input is greater than inverting input, so that is going to get the output to get saturated in the positive direction. So in this way, so whenever the operational amplifier is employed as a open loop configuration, that means without any feedback, either negative or so the output will be in either in two states. One is positive saturation or negative saturation. So such a circuit, so we are going to be useful for some of the applications. So such applications are nothing but comparator circuits. So comparator means suppose unknown voltage will be given at the one of the terminal means, so we are going to see whether the output is going to two voltage, if it is given, which one is greater if you want to compare me. So connect two unknown voltage source to the two of the input terminals of the op-amp. So if any of the input terminals is greater, so that is going to get saturated in corresponding saturation. So from that we can say that so the given voltage source across the each corresponding the terminal is greater when compared to the other terminal. So that is what the comparator circuit is going to work. At the same time, so we're going to use it for a detector circuit. So whenever the op-amp is acting in a full loop configuration, so any voltage level, if I want to find out what is the voltage level, unknown voltage level, if I am going to connect. So what is the voltage for that corresponding voltage? So say I can connect to the one of the to the operation amplifier, and for the input terminal, if I vary the interface, also useful for the digital interface device. So digital interface device in the sense, so you can employ, so for any of the analog to digital circuit or digital to analog circuit applications and all is required in the communication domain. So ADC as well as DAC, so that plays a major role. So whenever you're going to get the signals from the sensor signals or physical environment, whatever the type of signals, which will be in analog form, from the analog to digital form when you want to use, so there are also use this operational amplifier. So we have already uh, uh, doing in this, this lab in the lab communication lab, you have to do already with LATAC. In this chapter where we discuss about the comparator limiters as well as so these are all nothing but uh, some of the applications with respect to comparator. So comparator, so it so by using that, so you can able to make them system design you have designed. So in which a comparator circuit is you are going to have the output. One is A greater than B, A less than B, and A equal to B. So that is one of the comparator. So here to observe in the case of circuit amplifier. So that is a comparator, and it can also be used in the when it is not shift to positive saturation and negative saturation, because it is going to act as a comparator at the two input signal. So whenever the input signal, if there is any two input signal, if there is any microvolt signal difference, if it is present between the two input terminals. So as I'm telling, so microvolt difference between the two input terminals, so it is going to switch the output to corresponding saturation. Suppose if the non-inverting input as well as inverting input, so if there is any in specifics for 741 op-amp specification, it has been given so 30 microvolt. Okay, so that is the 30 microvolt difference. That means if the difference between the positive non-inverting input and the inverting input, if it is having 30 microvolt difference, then it causes the output to saturate in corresponding saturation. So if non-inverting input is greater than inverting input by just by 30 microvolt, so it causes the output to get saturated in positive saturation. And if the inverting input is greater than non-inverting input, so by just will cause the output to get saturated in negative saturation. So non-inverting input will cause the output to get saturated in the maximum output voltage or the maximum saturation voltage. So depending on the power supply which you are going to give for operation amplifier, as I mentioned, so the 741 op-amp can be operated from plus or minus 7 volts to plus or minus 30 volts. That is a wide range of power supply will be given for this operation amplifier. So plus or minus 7 to plus or minus 30. So that is about the range of power supply voltage. So in that range of power supply voltage, so the output will get saturated. So saturation voltage will be equal to 1 volt less than the maximum power supply. So that means if the positive saturation voltage means, so if it is a plus or minus 15 volts means 1 volt less than the maximum positive. That is a plus 15 means plus 14 will be getting as the output. So if it is a minus 15 means minus 14 will be getting as the output. So that means the two extreme ends that the output can swing. So the output can be reached up to plus 14 to minus 14. So that is the saturation voltage. So the comparators, so in that comparators there are special case of the comparators we are going to study in this, so which is nothing but Schmitt triggers as well. So Schmitt trigger is also, which is going to cause certain voltage to trigger, so that whenever the corresponding voltage, whenever the corresponding input voltage meets that point, so it causes the output to switch from one saturation to another saturation. So that is the circuit which is going to be learned in the Schmitt trigger. So there you are going to find upper trigger point as well as lower trigger point. So that is the trigger voltage which is going to be mentioned. So based upon reaching the upper trigger point, it causes the output to switch from negative to positive saturation. And whenever the input reaches the lower trigger point, so it causes the output to switch from positive to negative saturation. So this is nothing but circuit which we are going to work with respect to comparison of the input circuit with the corresponding voltage. So that is a special case of a comparator is nothing but a Schmitt trigger. As well as we are going to see unknown voltage. So in order to find out the unknown voltage level, so we are going to use voltage level detectors as well as the positive feedback bias oscillators. We already studied about oscillators topic. So here we are going to study the same oscillator topic with respect to operational amplifier. So that means, so in a common source amplifier, RC phase shift phase shift JFET based RC phase shift oscillators we have studied. At the same time, LC as well as Colpit, Hartley oscillators as well as the crystal oscillators we have studied. So all these things which has been studied, the same concept, so the same oscillator circuit we are going to design with the operational amplifier instead of JFET or instead of BJT or instead of JFET. So we are going to use the op-amp, so that we are going to use it for oscillator circuit. So these are the things. These are the some of the applications which you are going to learn with respect to op-amp, open loop op-amp configuration. So open loop means you should remember that is ideal characteristics of operational amplifier. You have to recall. Okay, now first we will study about the voltage level detector. So voltage level detector. So here you can see on how the operational amplifier can be used as a voltage level detector. So in this corresponding circuit, if it is considered, so this is the operational amplifier. So you can see this is the operational amplifier 741 IC, in which you are going to have a two input terminals, non-inverting terminal, inverting terminal, and two power supply plus VCC minus VE, and the output terminal. And assuming that, so it is not having any output, it is not the output is not having any offset voltage as well as offset current. So hoping that it is accurate, and it is not having any offset voltage. So we can connect the non-inverting input terminal with a certain input voltage will be going to give connector. So for the another inverting terminal, so we are going to have a 1 volt reference voltage we are going to connect. So whenever it is going to have a 1 volt reference voltage to be connected at the inverting terminal, and then for non-inverting terminal we are going to connect a analog signal voltage, sinusoidal signal voltage, so V. So since it is a DC voltage, so DC voltage, reference voltage is of DC voltage, and it is going to have continuously supply the inverting terminal with 1 volt DC voltage, it is going to be fixed. So the inverting terminal voltage is fixed to 1 volt DC, whereas for non-inverting terminal, so sinusoidal, so this is a sinusoidal AC signal, it is going to have a time varying signal which is going to be connected to the non-inverting terminal. So I'll just speak about what is this diodes and all. So what is the requirement? So we can see. So just observe. So whenever the input signal source is connected to the non-inverting terminal, so you can see this is the AC sinusoidal signal waveform. So in which you can see it is going to have a time varying. So it is going to have a peak to peak voltage, so which is greater than 1 volt. So you can see this is the time varying, it is going to have a positive peak of this voltage and negative peak of this voltage. So assume that it is going to have a 10 volts peak to peak. So 10 volts peak to peak means so it is going to have a plus 5 volts positive peak and a minus 5 volts positive peak, so that you will be having 10 volt peak to peak signal. So in this this input waveform is given to the non-inverting terminal, and for the inverting terminal I am going to employ a 1 volt reference signal I am going to have. So since there is no feedback connected over here, so the op amp is going to act like a comparator, as I told. So it is going to compare the voltage which is connected between the two input terminals. Because of that, so any voltage, if it is there, so it is going to amplify, right? So it is going to amplify across the output voltage. So what is VID? So VID is nothing but what? So it is going to have a difference between the two input signals, because it is going to have a differential amplifier input stage. So it is going to take the difference between these two signals, and it is going to make, because a small microvolt difference between these two signals, it is going to cause the output to switch in corresponding saturation. So since the voltage 1 volt is connected to the inverting terminal is fixed, and inverting for the non-inverting input voltage is given. So as long as the input voltage is less than 1 volt, so you can see as long as the input signal source is less than 1 volt. So you can see this is the figure. So in the corresponding output waveform also you can observe over here. So as long this is a sinusoidal input signal waveform, so which is going to have a 10 volts peak to peak component. So this is just for assumption. So it is a plus 5 volts and minus 5 volts. So whenever the input voltage is less than 1 volt, so you can see this is a dotted line indicates what DC input voltage plus V reference, which is the remote DC input voltage. So this is a sinusoidal waveform, and as long as the input voltage is less than 1 volt, so during this period, so the input is less than 1 volt. So you can see the output is in negative saturation. So why the output will be in negative saturation? Because the V reference is greater than V in. As long as V reference means as long as the inverting non-inverting input, so obviously so output will be getting saturated in negative saturation, because the it means obviously it is going to have 180-degree out of phase, so that it is going to cause the output to get saturated in the reverse direction, because a small microvolt difference if it is there between the two input terminals will cause the output to enter into saturation. because of that reason, so as long as the V reference is less than is greater than V in, so output will be in negative saturation. So you can see minus V sat. So minus V sat, so that is a negative saturation. So till 1 volt. So till 1 volt is reached, you will be having the negative saturation. So whenever the input voltage, so this input voltage just exceeds 1 volt, greater than 1 volt. So by microvolt difference, so that means by about microvolt increase in the non-inverting terminal because of the sinusoidal input signal source. So whenever it is increases, so the terminal will be greater than the inverting terminal. So whenever the non-inverting is greater than the inverting of the sinusoidal input signal voltage, so it is going to cause the output to be saturation in positive saturation. So this shifts the output to from movement from negative to positive saturation within a fraction of a second. So you can see any slope over here. So because of high gain of the operational so it's the to positive saturation within a fraction of a second because the op amp is having a very high gain. So microvolt difference through saco, so output will get saturated very easily, very fast. So because of that, so you can see the output will be switching from negative to positive saturation. So whenever V is greater than V reference. Suppose, so it will be stayed up to what? So as long as the input signal is greater than the V reference. So during this time period interval, so during this interval, so the output will be in positive saturation itself. And then whenever the input whenever the input signal goes beyond, there is less than the plus 1 volt during this period of negative half cycle as well as during this period of the interval, so you can see the output will be shifted to again to the negative to negative state. And during this operation will be having the output will switch to positive saturation, and during this interval, time interval of the input waveform, so you will be seeing the output will be in the negative saturation. So like this you will be getting the output. So you can see, observe here. So one important observation, as I told, so in the beginning of the class also I told, so open loop amplifier or positive feedback amplifier. So almost same. Even the also uh, you're going to get the outputs like this. So that means it can be your 1 volt minus 1 volt reference voltage. For applications, we can say that this is a non-inverting type of application. So this is a non-inverting comparator. So non-inverting comparator. So first figure is non-inverting comparator. In observation, so you can see this is the opposite way you will be getting. As long as the input is less. So less than -1 means 0.310. Going to switch to the opposite direction. If it is less negative, so when compared to -1, if it is less, so the output will be in during this time interval period. The output will be in negative saturation, sorry, positive saturation. So as long as input is less than this one, so the output will be in positive saturation. Whenever the input is greater than -1 in terms of -1, so -2, -3, -4, -5. So during this time interval, so time, so the output will be switching to the negative saturation. So this is your V in is V reference. So V in is less than V reference. So V reference, so it is output is in negative saturation. So this is for non-inverting comparator. Sorry. So whenever the V in is less than V reference, so it is going to be having some, and when V in greater than V reference, then the output will be in positive saturation, and hence they will be getting the plus VCC. So that means 1 volt less than the VCC will be getting. So another change is nothing but negative inverting comparator, and we have employed here two diodes here. So what is the purpose of this two diodes is? So it is going to protect the device from the that is going to clamp to the voltage difference to be 0.7 or -0.7 respectively. So it is going to protect the op-amp from excessive input voltage changes. So it is going to use as a protective diodes, or it is also called as a clamping diodes as well. So it is going to clamp the input voltage difference. So we know that. So when you employ this type of opposite way, so if in the way in which the diode E1 and D2 is being connected, so it is going to make, or it is going to cause the input voltage difference to be clamped to 0.7 or -0.7 respectively, and hence you can see the same thing. So it is going to protect the differential amplifier with some excessive input voltage. So this is what the protective diodes, so D1 and D2. So it is going to be also called as a clamping diodes. So clamping diodes, so it is going to clamp the input voltage difference to +7 volts or -7 volts, and hence it is going to be reducing the damage which is going to be caused by the excessive input voltage. So it is going to use as a protective device. It is going to clamp the input voltage to be about 0.7 to -0.7, and hence it is going to protect the device from excessive input voltage source. So these are the comparator circuit, basic comparator circuit. So in the basic comparator circuit, so we have studied what you mean by non-inverting comparator as well as a inverting comparator respectively. So now we are going to see in another application, which is nothing but showing an inverting comparator with reference voltage source. So this is the reference voltage source of the input, which is going to be connected to the non-inverting input. So plus input is nothing but a non-inverting input, and V in is applied to the negative input. So in this case, we are going to cause the output to be switched from positive saturation to negative saturation. So that is nothing but it is going to move from plus VCC to minus VE respectively. So that is what you are going to get as output for the comparator circuit. So it is nothing but a switching application. So whatever the V reference is connected, so, and along with the polarity, so if you are going to adjust along with a 10K potentiometer, so you're going to cause the output to reach up to plus VCC as well as minus VE respectively. So this is about the comparator circuit. So now we will see the another important application of the comparator circuit. So that is nothing but a zero crossing detector. So what do you mean by zero crossing detector? So in this zero crossing detector, so one voltage terminal will be connected to ground respectively, and hence another voltage source will be given with the input signal source. So in this case you can see, so the circuit diagram of the zero crossing detector. So the input voltage signal source is connected to the inverting terminal, and the input side of the circuitry, so is going to have a clamping diodes D1 and D2 respectively. So diode D1 and diode D2, so which is going to be to clamp the input voltage difference of the input of the operation amplifier to clamp to 0.7 or minus 0.7 respectively, and hence this is the previous circuit, I think. So what we call, so there is a zero crossing detector. So zero crossing detector, so here it is there. Okay, so one voltage source will be connected to the reference voltage source to be connected to ground. So one voltage, the reference voltage is zero only, and for the another input terminal, so I'm going to apply the input voltage. So by doing connection like this, so what you are going to get the output. So whenever the input voltage is greater than 0 volt. Okay, so in terms of positive, because in the previous circuit we have considered the reference voltage to be of 1 volt. So now we are going to consider the reference voltage to be of 0 volt. So whenever I'm going to have a reference voltage of 0 volt, and when the input voltage crosses greater than 0, so it is inverting type because the input is given to the inverting terminal. So output will be, so whenever the input is going to increase by the non-inverting terminal with a 0 voltage, so that's whenever it is going to increase by greater than 0.1 or 0.7, so in this case 0.7 voltage, so the output is going to get saturated in negative direction. So inverting input, so the output will get saturated in negative direction. Whenever the input goes below 0 reference voltage, so the output will enter into switch from negative to positive saturation respectively. So this is what you are going to see. This is the input sinusoidal waveform. So 0 V positive peak, negative peak, so signal. And now in this case, so whenever the input is greater is going to be increased greater than 0, so you can see the output is getting saturated in negative direction. So as long that is during this time interval period, so the output is going to be in negative saturation, and during this time period interval, so you're going to have a output is going to have positive saturation. So positive saturation is there. So this is what this is what the special case of comparator, which is called as a zero crossing detector. So why the name zero crossing detector has come? So zero crossing means, so whenever the input is going to cross 0, so it is going to be get detected. So get detected in the sense, so from positive to negative saturation or negative to positive saturation, you can see observe here. So whenever the input crosses from positive to negative, so the output is also going to shift from one saturation to another saturation. At the same time, whenever it is going to switch from negative to positive, again you can see the observe the output waveform to be switched from negative to positive saturation. That means whenever it is going to be crossing, whenever the input is going to have a crossing of input signal, crossing of 0 takes place, so greater than or less than 0, so takes place, so the output is being detected, so that is the output is getting switched from one saturation to another saturation respectively. So because of that you can say, so the output is going to have a so again we're going to see the output is going to have a plus saturation and minus saturation respectively, and then so negative saturation to positive saturation ಯಾವಾಗ shift ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ whenever the input is crossing 0. At the same time, whenever the input is from negative to positive half cycle is crossing, so you're going to detect the output. So the output is going to see. So in this waveform, so you can see the positive to negative as well negative to positive saturation, and hence the circuit is called as a zero crossing detector. So is it clear? So the purpose of this diode is also it is used to protect the op amp from the excessive input voltage source. Hence, we are going to use the clamping diodes in particular. And in the compared to the previous circuit and this circuit, so here directly the non-inverting, one of the terminal of the input is connected directly to the ground. So this zero, that's this ground is acting as a reference voltage for this non-inverting terminal. So non-inverting is held at 0 volts, and hence whenever the input is going to increase greater than 0 or less than 0, so the output is going to saturate from negative to positive saturation respectively, as well as positive to negative saturation respectively. So this is how the name zero crossing detector. So it is inverting crossing detector, and non-inverting crossing detector means, so you have to think about this. So it's a typical input and output waveform. So now this is a zero crossing detector with a V reference is equal to 0. So this is about the zero crossing detector. Okay, so it has been 2 times I have taken, I think. So the same figure it has been coming. So non-inverting terminal again. So we are going to connect directly to ground. So this indicates that. So here also you can see the non-inverting terminal is connected directly to ground, and hence this is nothing but a zero crossing detector. So whenever the input crosses the 0, so the output is detected, and hence the output switches from one saturation to the next saturation. So this is the equation. So we'll just see the explanation behind this zero crossing detector. So the special case of zero crossing in some of the application, okay, so this is not with respect to zero crossing detector. Here it is there, I think. So eliminate any false output transition. So okay, theory part for this zero crossing detector. So zero crossing detector. So whenever the going to have the name itself zero crossing detector or sine to wave square wave converter. So why it is called sine to square wave? Because it is acting in a operating in a open loop configuration. Hence it is going to act like a comparator circuit. So in this comparator circuit, one voltage is connected to reference voltage 0, and hence the circuit is called as a zero crossing detector. So since the reference voltage is set to 0, so it is going to call this as a zero crossing detector. And in this case, the output voltage waveform, whenever input crosses 0 volts, so you are going to have a output to be detected. Hence, this is the example for zero crossing detector. So whenever the input is greater than crosses 0, so whenever the input crosses 0 volts, so the output will switch from one saturation to another saturation. So in this way, you are going to call this circuit as a zero crossing detector. So with this, just conclude today's session. So if you are having any doubts, I can clarify, or else I'll just wind up today's class and we'll meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I just